I'm going to switch on my backup computer. Nearly ready to go. Okay. All right. And if you could just be on mute when you're not talking, otherwise we get all the background sound. All right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's fine, Carol. You're the right way up now. That's actually quite good. You can see, yeah, landscape's better. Yeah, that works much better. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. And so the webcams would have gone to the right. So if you click on the little 3x3 matrix on the right, then you can expand out all the webcams and see everybody to stay connected. Okay, I'm going to get underway here just to make sure that I can see anyone else who may be turning up at the last minute. Over here, I'll get underway. So, okay. So, I'm Nicolas David and of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. And this webinar is about...
Is this bothering you, the music? Oh, you can't get on anyway.
Yeah, I can hear the background, whoever that is. If everyone could go on mute, that'd be great. Okay. Shelley, I'm going to put you on mute, Shelley. Yeah. Yeah, Shelley, you need to stay on mute, otherwise the background noise is going to come through. Yeah. Where are we going? Yeah, that's better. Okay, start again. So, welcome to the Getting Into Your Flow in Life with Divine Healing webinar. And this webinar is all about helping you help the world. As light workers, this was me quite a while ago. No matter what you've tried, you can feel left behind by life. And this webinar is about gracefully healing our abandonment and emotional blocks. I had a lot of this when I was younger. So that you can feel more connected, stable, and secure with the flow of life. And this is good if you're a beginner at this work or very experienced. So the idea of this is to help you get out there with your mission, because all of us as light workers, we carry this gift of service of wanting to make a difference here on earth. That's why we were born. So what I'd like to do is find out from you guys why you are here, because then that will set the energy for the webinar. So who wants to go first and let me know, especially you guys who've been brave enough to show your videos, because it sets intention, and your intentions will drive the way I actually form the webinar, because they're different every time. So it's your webinar, it's your group here. And you can also, you guys who aren't on video, you can just send it to me in the chat and I'll read out whatever you say, so everyone can still benefits from what your intention is here. So just say where you are and what brought you here, and just your intention, because then I get a feel for the group energy. So anyone can start. You can just wave at me, turn on the microphone, and Riz.
I'm here because I'm just taking complete advantage of any opportunity to have more divine healing when I can, how I can.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh, where are you, Riz? Tell me where you are.
Oh, I'm in London, sitting in my bed.
Okay.
West London, just near Hampton, Twickenham.
Okay. You don't give the postcode. Okay, thanks. Deborah, and then we'll have Fiona.
My name is Debbie, or Deborah. I'm here because Riz told me to. And when Riz tells me to, I do as I'm told. Now, I'm a very good friend of Riz, and I know that she's been doing your training. Yeah. So equally, I'm in London, Twickenham, a corner from Riz. And I've read your book also. I did get your book and I have read it. And so I've kind of been following Riz's training. She's been downloading her information to me and all her excitement and news of how wonderful the training is. So, I'm here because obviously I know something about you, already read your book, and I'm interested. I'm also a psychotherapist active in practice right now. So I believe a lot of this work I'm already doing anyway, but I don't have the language or the theories behind it effectively.
Thank you. Welcome,
I'm
Deborah.
here to learn more. I'm here to learn more.
Okay, Fiona.
Thank you.
I remember last time seeing Riz, she was the first to speak and I was the second to speak. So hi again. I just have a thirst for knowledge. I just want to know far more about this journey that I've started, and I've already had my soul contract read, I've read the book, and I just want to know more, want to understand, want to experience, feel. And I'm in deepest, darkest Sussex. Actually, it's very dark and rather miserable down here this evening.
At the moment, yeah. The joys of the English winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Shelley, you're waving at me. I just have to unmute. Okay, bottom left.
Bottom left for me.
That's
Sorry about the noise prior. I apologize.
It's all right.
Yes, okay. Like Deborah, I'm also, I do a lot of psychic counseling, and I'm finding through my clients, I'm starting to feel more and more of my sadness coming up. I know that the work I'm doing on myself has gotten even deeper than it's been. And I know your work goes so very deep, and especially the abandonment and grief. And I've got a lot of lung ailments, and I'm realizing the grief has built, and it's time to unravel really deeply on a deep level. And I know your work does that. So thank you.
Thanks, Shelley. Yeah, you're in the right place. Okay. So, who wants to go next? Wave at me. Okay, Maria, and then Carol.
Hello. I'm here for the same reasons as Riz. Taking every opportunity to get some divine healing. And also, as you might remember, Nicolas, I've got 3 4/4s in my phonetics chart. So I'm still trying to get into the flow of life, and especially trust and getting into getting focused on my mission, because with my 12/3, I'm just trying to do too much. So I'm just trying to focus on writing my book and starting my soul contract readings.
Okay, thank you, Maria. No, where are you, Maria? Tell everyone where you.
Oh yeah, I'm in Scotland, the light and sunny part of Scotland, just south of Edinburgh.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Across the pond and go to Carol. She's got an American flag in the background, so I think we know where she is.
Hi there. I missed your earlier webinar, so I had to watch that one on replay. I'm just really fascinated with the soul contract. I've done mine, and I've had like lots of my family members done. And so I just came on because I just want to learn more. I am in the United States. I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Oregon.
Okay, nice part of the world. Okay.
But I'm at work, so I might be popping in and out. I'll try to listen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. A lot of people do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go next? Meredith, you're waving at me? Yeah. Not on yet. No.
There we are.
Yeah, you're on now.
Hi, I'm in California in Big Sur, and I'm really happy to be here today. I've done some of my soul contracts so far, and it's just been an earth-shattering experience. So I am going to just be checking in anytime I see you doing something online so that I can learn and connect more with the material. And learn from other people too, because I think listening to people's interpretations and what's going on in their contracts is going to help me really define what's going on in mine too.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about divine healing today, though. It's not about soul contract. You might talk about.
Well, divine healing, and also I've got a big problem in my neck that I actually put there, and I need to back it out. I put anger and pain and suffering inside.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get some of that out today. So.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right. Who else would like to share? Okay, Rebecca. Yep. Try that. That's probably done it. Try now. Yeah, I think it's unmuted, Rebecca. No, I can't hear you. Are you on? If you're on an iPhone, whoops, you just switch your camera. If you're on an iPhone, you have to go to System Preferences to switch on to allow Zoom to actually sound to work. Okay. If you had an iPhone, would have someone else like to share why they're here? While Rebecca sorts it out. Anyone else? Or put it in the chat. No, Alexandra.
Hi there, I'm Alex, I'm in London. I'm here for divine healing like everyone else. It's always a lovely opportunity and also to connect with others and to experience divine healing together with others, as well as just to receive myself. I find that there's it feels very powerful when that kind of environment is set. So I really enjoy that, and yeah, I'm really up for having some blocks removed today. I feel like I'm removing layer upon layer, and sometimes I feel like, I think I'm there almost, and then it's like, oh no, there's another layer. So I know that's the nature of these things, and I try to just trust and not be frustrated. So yeah, I'm here for the healing, really.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Alexandra. Rebecca, do you want to try again to see that?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Yeah, it works.
Oh, sorry, it was muted before. Yeah, I'm here. I'm from Wiltshire in England, and I'm here because I've been on a really intense healing journey, and I'm just really interested in your training, and just looking for some healing today.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Shelley, you've got something else to add.
Yes, David, I'm so sorry, Nicholas, excuse me. My question is, I did request a reading and I never received it. So will I benefit greatly even if I do not know my numbers today?
So when did you request the reading?
As soon as I heard you on the show that I listened to.
When was that?
I would say it's about a month, probably about a month ago.
So how did you request the reading?
Online.
Did you pay for a reading, or what did you actually do?
No, you offered from that show a free reading.
Was that mundane to magical, was it?
Pardon me?
Which show was it on? You have to be very specific so I can figure out what's happened here.
I cannot recall if it was John Beyond the Ordinary. It doesn't matter. I don't want to take up the time. I'm going to just stay on here. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, if you
figure
out what it is, and email me whatever you sent to the email address you got, Nicolas Direct 3, and we'll figure out.
Okay.
It's gone missing somewhere. So I'm not sorry about
Okay.
it. I'm not sure what's happening.
Thank you, Nicholas. No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Shah Stella from Singapore says, it's midnight here, joining for the second time to learn more about healing. Thanks for the invite. And Wendy Paulson said, she's in Bluffton, I think South Carolina, East Coast. Us working on my trust and abandonment mission, looking for healing as well. Okay, thanks, Wendy and Stella. Anyone else want to share, set intention here? Okay, we'll get underway. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about divine healing, give you some structure, how it works, and then we're going to have an experience of it. So, and feel free to ask questions as we go. So, and you can, just reshape the windows on the right, click on the 3x3 matrix at the top, and you can reshape the webcam and see everyone to stay connected to them, okay? So, just a sec. Let's bring up participants here. Right, so, how did we get here? Why is this happening? Why are you in this body? Why is it so challenging? Why aren't we at home? We know home is somewhere else. Home is its source here. But what happened is that most of your consciousness is down here in the third dimension in these earth suits, in our avatars. But there's still a large part of us spread over the dimensions all the way back to source, because we're multidimensional. So what happened here was that source, all that is, Great Spirit, God in the spiritual sense, whatever you want to call it, wanted to know itself more. And I actually spent a lot of time thinking about this, but realized it had to have a direct experience of itself. So it undertook an outbreak of itself from the 12th dimension, this is what we call it now. And it sent parts of itself outwards to create this universe. And it dropped itself through the many dimensional levels. Think of them as different levels of vibration. Okay, different frequencies like BBC 1, 2, and 3, for example. And it dropped its frequency all the way down to the third dimension. So at this level, you've got pure spirit and unity. And here you've got individuated souls. And here you come into a body and manifest a physical form. And you might ask, well, why do we do that? Well, we do that so that the spark of source in us, because you're all part of God, nothing is not God, wanted to experience itself to be as separate from source as possible, to the point that in this reality, we usually forget. Initially, this is where we come from, which is why we feel that abandonment, which is what this webinar is all about. God has abandoned us. Can't be found. We know it's there somewhere, or he or she is there. We feel separate. And therefore we start life knowing something's missing, and we go searching for it, which is basically this: how do we get home? We may not be able to vocalize it. We know something's not right about this reality. Okay, something's off here. And it's because we're actually separate from all that is. Okay, that's the reason we feel that. And so our life is about clearing the body and the ego personality of all the separation programs that create this illusion that we're separate from source, so that we can eventually open to this higher consciousness and return home to source, return back to oneness, that feeling of rightness and unity. So the purpose of life is to, each in our own unique way, is to dissolve this illusory construct of the ego and return consciousness back home to source, and to have that visceral emotional experience in the body. The reason we come in the body is because our souls will experience different emotions much more strongly than we are when we're outside the body. So it may be unbelievable, but there's a huge queue to get in here because of the learning is enormous. You may think on a bad day, God, why did I put my hand up? Why did I come here? That was not a good idea. I have that on some days. It's because we learn a lot from the emotional intensity of this experience, and to take that experience all the way back to source over a long period of time to get back to oneness. So that's the in-breath of source. And that's called ascension, where everything that can be learned by source has been learned, and now it's all winding back. It's the in-breath, which is what we're going through at the moment. And you can see in the world, a lot of darkness is coming in, a lot of the underpinning energy which holds us separate from source is showing itself to be dissolved, for truth to be, and light, consciousness to be brought to it, so that we can acknowledge it and then dissolve it and transform it. So we all go back to oneness. That's actually what's going on at the moment. So how do we do this? How do we get home? So we get home by bringing consciousness to our ego onion. So this is you, the pure spark of the divine in you. And because many of you read the Soul Contract book and have had the work done, the Soul Contract creates many layers of the ego onion. I happen to like red onions, that's why I put one in. And the idea is to peel this ego onion and to get back to the pure flame of consciousness of the soul. And we can use divine healing to do that. and we peel it in the right order, because the higher self, the part of you outside the body, built you in a very specific way, in a very layered way, and therefore it knows how to peel this onion. We're going to use the higher self today to help do this, because we align with that higher self in divine healing. And we peel this onion gracefully all the way back to source. So we get back to this. So we drop the illusion of the personality of the ego, of what we think we are. But we're pure love, pure light ultimately. Whoops, we went a bit too far then. Yeah. So the process of doing that allows us to grow lotuses out of the mud of the emotional separation programs of the ego. All the good stuff that keeps us as therapists in business, keeps us. It's been years training to dig out the mud in other people's lives. And we're not looking at this as good and evil or polarity consciousness. Mud or separation is bad. Light or lotuses are good. We're using a Buddhist model of unity where the mud and the lotus are one and the same thing. These emotional separation programs, if we bring light to them, consciousness to them, and transform them, we will turn them into lotuses, because it's all one ultimately. So here are the 3 core programs that you will have in some unique combination. Being popped out into the world, out of your mother's womb, leads to our ego feeling abandoned by God. It's a bit cold here, and the lights are harsh. Because we feel abandoned, we feel unworthy to be loved by God, because we got dropped on the 3rd rock from the sun, and we don't trust God. There are 3 core programs that every human's made of in some unique combination. And our job in life is to heal each of these, to feel reconnected to God, worthy of God's love, and to trust in God in the spiritual sense. And today we're going to mainly work on this one, abandonment by God. The other webinars in the Divine Healing series address unworthiness and mistrust, plus also manifestation. All right. So what do humans do when our emotional stuff triggers? Okay. Most people avoid it, which is when you get your addictions, all sorts of bad behavior in life comes from that, to avoid feeling the pain of our program, our mud. As we become more aware of the programs and start to face it a bit, we tend to judge them and feel bad about them. But a third way is to bring consciousness to it and own it. Feel it in the body, find out where it comes from. Let go of the judgment, because the judgment is what holds it in, and therefore we can transform it. And here's how we do it. So a little drink here. So, to heal, to begin, maintain the journey back to source, we need the willingness, desire, and courage to transform. So we need to identify the issues. This is the layer of the onion. We need to bring feeling consciousness, the blue stuff here, into the issue. Because what you feel, you can heal. So divine healing is about it's a feeling-based therapy. It's not a mind-based talking therapy. Although we do talking in it. It's about what you can feel and bring consciousness to. You can transform, because all the soul wants to do is feel that emotional separation program to the maximum ability you can manage, and then dissolve it. And therefore, it's made a progress in its journey home. But the ego's onto this, and it's not so keen on us clearing these programs. It wants to keep us in this place of separation and suffering. So it numbs us out. Because what you can't feel, you can't heal. It's usually very dependent. And it puts this layer of numb energy, protection around our programs. Because we, especially in the West, have learned to control our emotions with the prefrontal cortex, not allow them to run and flow. So what we do with divine healing is that we gently break through the defense mechanisms. And working in a group, it's much more powerful to do that. It's much easier to do that. And we ask grace to come in, to move the energy, and grace to stand in and really release the stuff. Okay, which is what we're going to do today. So, getting into the flow of life, here's how we do it. There are two parts of this. There's a higher self, which is permanent, which has a God self, higher emotional body, and non-linear mind. This is much higher consciousness. This is where Mozart downloaded symphonies at 7 and all the good stuff he did. This is us in our earth suits, our avatars, where we have an impermanent personality. We have an emotional body, mental body, other energy bodies, and a physical body. Follow the emotional separation coming from our soul contract. We're presented with a challenge in life to break through that. And we have a thing called the antakarana. This is the thin energy, strip of energy, or cord really. It basically connects us to the higher self. And through that comes consciousness and life force that keeps us alive. You need more than just air and water and food to stay alive. You need life force. And it's very thin initially. It's just enough to keep you alive and feel separate from God. So our job as spiritual seekers, as light workers, is to clear the lower self of as many of the programs, emotional programs, mental programs, beliefs, judgments, all the emotional separations, to clear it. And when we do that, the antakarana opens up because our consciousness is rising. And unconditional love, the violet, comes in, which helps release our programs, because remember, the ego is judging ourselves. We judge ourselves all the time. It helps us accept them. And when we accept what we have, it then starts to release. And as we progress on our journey, this antakarana opens up more. We feel clearer down here. More love comes in. Life gets better. Because we have less programming, we have more love flowing to us. And if you continue this journey and completely dissolve the ego, then the ego has surrendered to the higher self. And it becomes a vehicle for higher consciousness to express through us into the world. And that's actually the ultimate flow. Because when your ego is completely surrendered, even partially surrendered, a lot more flow comes to you, a lot more knowledge, a lot more downloads. And that translates into life flows better at all levels, including financially. And our mission happens because our mission is manifested by higher consciousness community. And you can think of this reality. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Matrix? Put your hand up. Okay, so this is the Matrix. And the Matrix is like a three-dimensional projection screen. And if you are very clear at an ego level and you've surrendered, or on the way to doing that, that clear ego allows higher consciousness to manifest in 3 dimensions of the reality, a different life, the life you are seeking, a life of great joy and service. Because the Matrix is, nothing comes from this reality. The flow only comes from you at a higher level, but you've got to get this filter clear enough to manifest it. If this is not clear, it doesn't matter what you do, it won't happen. But if it is much clearer, and you're aligned with where the soul wants to go, then pretty amazing things start to happen, speaking from my own experience. So ultimately, we're here to have the ego completely surrender, and the higher self brings through a lot of unconditional love that creates the flow. So it's about letting go everything we think we are. And the ego basically only could figure out what's going on about half the time it gets it right. So it's not a very reliable sort of little beastie, really. So what we're doing with divine healing is we're moving from the little ego thinking it's in charge, thinking it's all powerful, on the path of suffering. So it's following the left brain ego, following the mind, which doesn't get us very far, to transferring over to following this thick line here, which is called the spiritual signature. And that's where in each moment is one heart-opening action which will lead to a much more graceful life. So what the mind says is what the body, the soul wants to do, or the soul expresses through the body. It's what opens your heart. And if you gradually converge on this, then you will be seriously in the flow of life. Being fully present in the moment, feeling the subtle energy of, whoa, what is it going to be today? What's my next right action? Because your higher self has a divine plan for you. There is nothing for you to figure out, actually, in terms of getting into the flow, getting to your mission. It's about opening and surrendering to the mission which has already been designed. So in flowing with this, you live in a completely different life compared to living down here in the struggle of having the ego dominance that most people have. So what happens is that as we heal, we start to identify and free up these emotional blockages which steal a lot of our energy, because our life force is still on to hold these things in place so we don't engage with them. As we do engage with them and bring consciousness to it, this is what happens. We dissolve them. And then life force frees up. We have a lot more energy. When you notice spiritual people who do their work, emotional work, they look younger than people who, the average person in the street who does no work, they look pretty wrecked by the time they hit middle age or older, because all this programming is holding them back. That's why spiritual people look younger as they get older if they're doing their work, because they're freeing up all the life force. So the purpose of divine healing is to free up all your life force, embody higher consciousness, have a really clean ego filter. Then the flow of life, the flow of your mission can really start to happen. Okay. So a summary of it. Any questions so far? Oh, S. Rose, you said, what? Antakarana. Antakarana is like the silver cord you see in the movies between the soul and the higher self. It's basically it's a means of transmitting consciousness and life force from the higher self into you, the soul, and into your body to keep you alive. That's what it's for. Okay. Are there any questions before we go and have a direct experience of this? Of what I just said? No? Okay. Makes it very simple. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give you a direct experience of divine healing. Yeah. So what I want you to do is pop off your shoes or slippers and your feet flat on the ground. And we're going to first clear some energy interference. The energy, that red line you saw. Yeah, I'll show it to you on the diagram of how creation works, which disconnects you from higher consciousness. So we're going to clear a bunch of stuff here. Give me my pen. We're going to open a hole up here so we start to move in consciousness to the higher dimensions. Okay. All right. Laurie, you gotta get your hand up. Do you want to ask me a question? Do you want to come on, put the camera on, or put something in the chat? You have to switch on the sound, which is on the bottom left if you want to talk to me. Switch on the microphone.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi. You had asked us if we had seen The Matrix. Put your hand up. This is my very first Zoom chat, so I just found a raise your hand button. So okay. I'm sorry if I hit the wrong raise your hand button.
It's okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
And I'm from Springfield, Missouri area. So hello to everyone.
Okay. Welcome.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I didn't see your hand till just then, so let's go. So I want you to close your eyes. We're going to clear some energy interference from you. And you may feel quite strong body sensations from this. So these are lots of astral beings of all sorts of different types. Nothing to worry about. Who've been hanging out with you, and a lot of them have been feeding off the programming, the negative programming you're carrying, because when they're in a body, they had similar issues. So they've been draining your energy, so you should feel a bit more energized after this, okay? So we're going to clear earthbound souls first. So these are beings which have left a physical body, but they're hanging out with you because you have probably the same issues, definitely. All right, so I'll be doing this quietly. So I want you to breathe through your mouths at all times so you can feel what's happening in your body. Just be aware of the sensations that occur. Okay. Here we go. You may yawn or burp or make sounds or want to move, and that's fine. Okay, because that's the energy releasing. Okay, feel the energy shift as the earthbound souls leave. Okay. And this will be preserved on the recording. So if you watch the video again, you'll have the same effect. It'll give you the same energy, but another layer will clear. Now we're going to clear extraterrestrial presences because they're curious about us, because we have a very wide range of emotions on Earth, more so than the average planet. And so they are observing us, but it also means they're put a lot of relativity. The very fact of observing us changes us as the subject. So we're going to clear a bunch of these guys out. Nothing to be concerned about here. They're just curious. Okay, these guys are leaving now. Feel the energy shift. Now we're going to clear the remaining bunch. It's a whole range of them. They're discarnates, entities, and attachments, all sorts of astral life. You've seen some of these in Ghostbusters, but nothing to worry about here. So here we go. Can you feel the shift now? They're on their way out. Take a little while. I'm going to leave. So I set in the energy so they can't find you again once they've left. Okay, that's finished there. Okay, so let that integrate. So now what I want you guys to do, we're going to clear a main low frequency program. So this is the energy that's been blocking you from flowing in life. So you want to know what that is. It could be in any area of your life. So I want you to focus with your consciousness, keeping your eyes closed, on whatever has been blocking you for whatever you most strongly desire to happen in your life. It could just be a feeling. It could be an individual. It could be a belief. You may not even know what it is, but you can feel something stopping you. I want you to focus on that and bring it up in consciousness in your system. We're going to clear a layer of that now. Breathing through the mouth is really important, because if you breathe through the nose, it keeps you in your head. And you need to, the more you can feel it in your body, the deeper the clearing that's going to occur here. Because most of the time the ego wants to turn away from the stuff, inviting you to connect with it, feel it. And you may become aware of where this comes from. It could be from when you're a child, it might be a past life, could be before you're even born, could be pre-incarnational. Just get a sense of where it's from. It could be a bit vague, but it might be quite clear and explicit. Whatever it is, it is. Breathing deeply into it, what we're doing is expanding that little sky blue lightning strike into the red ball of the issue, of the blockage that's holding back the flow for you. And let yourself open to all aspects of this feeling of this low frequency program. Perhaps any attachment you have to holding on to it. Ego loves to hold on to programs. Any feelings of being bad for having it. And all judgment you have around having it. That's usually a challenging one to face. This is the key thing that's holding it in place. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. To breathe and spread your consciousness into that little red bubble I showed you. Go to places you may not have wanted to look at or feel before. It's going to go as far as it's comfortable for you. The more you open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. Okay, so we brought maximum consciousness to this program. Now we're going to clear it with what's called a command code in divine healing, because divine healing is based on ask and you shall receive. So if you open your eyes and look on the screen, you can see the command code here in the divine healing manual. And switch your microphones on because we're going to say this together. And when we say this together, it's very powerful. Okay, it's going to get a little noisy because there's quite a few of you. That's fine. Okay. All right. I'll read it to you in bite-sized chunks. Okay. So, whoops. Hang on. So far, my team. And you've got to say it as if you mean it, because remember, you are a spark of the divine. You are God. You are commanding the universe to do something for you. So you've got to mean it. It's not just words. You've got to speak as if you are, or you are the divine here. So we're going to use Saint Germain, one of the ascended masters, to clear this stuff. So repeat after me. We are Saint Germain.
Saint Germain.
To pour the purple flame.
To pour the purple flame.
Through the aura and subtle bodies.
Through the aura and subtle bodies.
To burn away all low frequency energies.
To burn away all low frequency
energies.
That we have discovered.
That we have discovered.
So that new higher level vibrations.
So that new higher level vibrations
can be accessed, accepted, and encoded.
Can be accessed, accepted, and encoded.
So we set clear intention there, okay? And then we can let that happen. We always have little pauses to allow the energy to shift. Now we say Saint Germain and myself.
Saint Germain,
higher self.
Please burn out in one go.
Please burn out in one go.
100% the core issue.
100%
100% the core issue through all levels and dimensions.
All levels and dimensions.
Little pause there, let that happen. 100% the original
The
cause.
original cause through
100%
all levels
the
and
original
dimensions.
And dimensions.
Through all levels and
dimensions.
Let that clear. 100% the source of its power.
100% the source of this power through all levels and dimensions.
All levels and dimensions.
Pause. 100% all energy attached to all levels and dimensions.
100% all
all
energy
energy
attached
attached
to
through
all
all
levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
dimensions.
100% all of its effects through all levels and dimensions.
100%
100%
all
of
of
all
its
of those
effects,
effects,
all
all
levels
levels
and
and
dimensions.
dimensions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get that into great. Scrolling through the manual here. I've gone too far. I'll go back up to here. So we'll check in to see how you're doing. We would like to share how we feel after those first two divine healing charts, just to give time to integrate. Who's brave enough to share? Anyone? Riz, I'll ask you.
Sorry, say that again.
How are you feeling after those first two charts?
Clear. I can't describe it. There's like a clarity in my energetically. It's like something's been taken out. I feel clearer.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anyone else want to share their experience of that? Okay, Deborah. Then Meredith.
Feel like a sense of abandonment. I just kind of I feel like I just want to let go. It's just like, oh. I think a kind of sense of relaxation sweeping over me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Meredith.
Wow. Some moments of just lightness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Anyone else want to share? Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
How was that?
To give good. I'm still learning Zoom. Thanks for your patience. To give context of what I experienced, I've done your soul contract. I'm a 7/7, so I tend to hide, and I've hid in my head quite a bit. And so my experience was feeling my head release, and I'm still feeling like waves of energy go through my heart, which I've been hiding from for a long time. So thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Laurie. Oh, where are you, Laurie? That's the other question.
Springfield, Missouri area. I live out in the country.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else want to share how that is? We'll put it in the chat. Maria?
I feel I'm more in my body rather than in my head. It's a nice feeling.
Okay.
Peaceful, yeah.
All right. You guys who are not on video, you can put it in the chat if you want. I'll read it out. Anyone else want to share what that was? Fiona?
I didn't feel very much at all from that.
Yeah.
But I know that under normal circumstances I would feel a lot, but I've been doing a lot of other healing work. So I'm just wondering whether the other healing work that I've been doing has already perhaps cleared some of that. Is that possible?
Yeah. So we must squeaky clean on the way in. So
I don't know about that. I think there's an awful lot there, but,
yeah.
but masses to work on.
All this stuff comes out in layers. So
Yeah.
that's the way it works. There's a specific order the higher self wants to clear so that we can get back to source. Just following the flow. Okay. Yes, Rose has said, feeling more vulnerable. Shah Stella in Singapore said, my body felt kind of lethargic. You're feeling lethargic, Shah, means that a lot of life force is released when you let go programming, because it was holding it in place. It frees up, as I was showing you at the end. That's why you feel lethargic. So the fatigue of holding the programming in lets go and comes out your body. So you might tight initially, but then you get your energy back. Okay.
Actually,
yeah.
I'm starting to feel a surge of energy coming through me. It's just a bit delayed. Sorry.
Yeah, that means something. So you drops out some separation programming, and now you're getting your energy back.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Oh, Rebecca. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I felt like pressure on my head, and once it released, I could just feel it, kind of like leave out my body.
You probably had a lot of interference around your head. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could feel that.
Feeling leaving. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I reckon about 80% of what we go through comes from past lives, unresolved stuff in many lifetimes. And so there will be something probably blocking the flow because it was not resolved in that lifetime. So we're going to go after these past life influences and clear them. All right. So what I want you to do is close your eyes and have your intention on connecting with those past lives which are blocking you getting to the flow of what you really want to do this life. Okay. And it'll come to you because you've set the intention. Because divine healing is all about setting intention here. Okay. It'll be subtle, or it may not. You may have full visual. Some people do. It could just be a feeling. Okay. And the soul will open the past life files in your fields and say, okay, I want to clear this, this, and this. Because it got you here today for a reason, because it knew what we were going to do. Okay. And then we're going to clear a whole bunch of past lives around that particular issue blocking you from getting into the flow. And breathing through the mouth, and it's important to keep the eyes closed, otherwise the mind switches on and tries to understand it all and thinking, is it real? What's going on here? We don't need that here. We just need to be emotionally present and feeling what's happening. It's the fuel for divine healing. Keeping breathing through your mouth. You may get a feeling for the texture, or you may have visuals or sensing what these lives are about. Just there probably will be multiple ones. So start trying to bring consciousness as much as you can to each one for a little while, for a few minutes in total. And then we're going to clear them. Because bringing consciousness means that the soul's saying, here it is, I want it out now. I want this one gone. And some of the emotions may be quite strong. It's normal. Just be with it. Can't hurt you. Okay, now I want you to open your eyes and look on the screen. And this is a past life clearing chart. We normally use this to clear past life deaths, but some of these may have ended in death, not all of them. So we're going to use a variation on this chart, all right, to help you. So we're not going to use the word death here. We're going to use the word past life, traumatic lives here. Okay. So I want you to continue to stay connected emotionally to those past lives that were revealed to you by your soul. Okay, and repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. So remember, you must mean it when you say this. So be present with the words and what they're actually doing. Okay, because then it's more powerful, it goes deeper. So repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. Microphone's on. higher self.
Higher self.
Higher self.
Please clear, heal, and integrate
Please clear,
Please
heal,
clear,
and
and
integrate
all these files and
these
memories,
files and memories,
all these files and
memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all
cellular memories,
the DNA and the subatomic
the
level.
DNA and the subatomic
level.
levels.
I am now ready to heal
I am
I am now ready to heal
all traumatic lives,
traumatic past lives,
all traumatic past lives,
blocking my flow
blocking my flow
at all levels and dimensions,
at all levels and dimensions,
all time frames,
all time frames,
realities and universes.
realities and universes.
Just going to pause there now and just close your eyes and let this energy leave. It takes a little while for it to peel out of your fields. Okay. Okay. Next one. I command that any soul fragments
I command any soul fragments
held with these memories
held with these memories
are now returned to me,
now return to me,
fully whole and intact,
fully whole and intact,
as appropriate.
as appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I welcome these fragments back.
We pause there. So what happens is parts of us break off when we have very strong experiences in this life, and we fragment our soul. And so when we clear the fragment of them and bring them back, we become whole again. Next bit. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I command that the whole holographic matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels,
be repaired through all layers and levels,
then brought into full alignment,
and then brought into full alignment,
integration and balance,
integration and balance,
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow wholeness to emerge.
Thank you.
Now, wait, no, don't say the thank you just yet. Let that happen first. We just say thank you when it's cleared. Thank you. Okay, everyone say thank you.
Thank you.
And embrace the shift.
Embrace the shift.
Now, that's just something to do. Don't just say that. So when you say thank you, express gratitude, it opens a direct connection from your heart to source, and it bypasses all the ego blockages in us. That's why we say thank you a lot in divine. Gratitude is really important here. Okay. A little check on who that was. So who would like to share how that was? It's gives us a bit of time to integrate before we do the next chant. Anyone want to share how that felt?
Feel stronger.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Wave at me first, and I can see who you are, because a lot of you. Shelley, and then Laurie.
Yeah, I felt sadness with the last session, and on this one, I felt the clearing. I knew then it was past life. I feel very light.
Yeah. Yeah, you look lighter. There's more of a smile on your face now. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Laurie.
I'll echo that. I felt like an earthquake in my heart emotions, and now I feel grounded and cleared.
Okay, good. Anyone else want to share? Riz? Put it in the chat as well, guys.
It felt timely, but the interesting thing though was, Nicolas, it wasn't so much past lives that I felt were blocking. I felt that a lot of the things that were blocking have been in my current life that needed to be cleared.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that felt good.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Meredith, how's your neck doing? I want to check. You look a bit more smiley now. Yeah, you look pretty nice.
It's definitely feeling a bit better here.
Yeah.
I think I still have a bit to work through, but yeah.
You look relieved, actually.
This has been a very intense month for me, and yes, it's nice to be here with people experiencing this. I think it's very helpful.
Okay, good. if you watch the video again later, when I'll get it out to you guys probably next week, then you can do it again, and a different layer will clear, because it'll be as powerful as it is now, because it contains the entire transmission. Okay, so you're aware of that. Okay, Maria.
I'm feeling a huge relief. I actually connected with the past life, and it was very scary, but it explained a lot to me.
Okay, good. Can I ask what that was? Are you willing to share that?
Yeah, it was like a witch hunt. There was a crowd of people running after me, and I went round the corner, and they were running past, so they didn't see me, and a huge bear came and led me away from there and helped me.
Good. Okay. Anyone else? We move on. No? Okay. So divine healing is quite powerful, as you can see. And we've done a lot of clearing charts. Now we're going to do what we call an integration chart. So we're going to do an energetic nutrition chart to infuse pure frequency into you to help integrate the shift. Because when we do divine healing, we're trying to do it in a sustainable way. So you're basically, your ego changes, but you stay intact. So you don't basically lose it. You don't destabilize. So we all have pretty busy lives, and it's about clearing but staying stable. So we're going to infuse pure frequency into you, which your higher self will guide you to do. So I'm going to share the screen again. We're going to go to what's called the nutrition chart. Okay. I'll find it here. I jump past it. So here's nutrition. So this is energetic nutrition here. Okay. And I just want to see whether I've got a slide to explain how this works. Just a minute. I might have one here. No, we haven't got one here. No, not on this presentation. So basically, different frequencies of the physical nutrition are going to be infused in you. And what that does is that bypasses the conscious ego defenses, goes right around them, and puts in a counteracting frequency to whatever other imbalances are in your system. And it's something which is beyond the mind, which means it's immune to the mental defenses of the ego. So we have 4 types of nutrition we're going to work with today. We have amino acids, essential fatty acids. Okay, and then we have it's A and B, and we have minerals and vitamins. There's a whole bunch of things written here. Some of them are almost impronounceable, and you don't have to know what they actually mean or do, but the very fact of setting the intention of having that frequency means it will go into you. Okay. So what I want you to do is close your eyes and pick a number between 1 and 4. It will just drop into your head from your higher self. Whatever comes first is the correct number, and write it down. Okay, you guys can all go on mute now, because we're just doing something. We don't have to do any command codes just yet, not for a few minutes. All right. And so normally it's a letter A to D. So you pick 1, you've got A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D. Okay. And so if you got A1 or B2, you've got another number to pick. So if you got A, close your eyes and pick a number between 1 and 25. Whatever comes in is the amino acid that you're meant to infuse. The first number that counts, not the following ones you may throw at you. It's the first one is the count that counts. That's the correct answer. If you got B, pick a number between 1 and 19. Because I aligned you to your higher selves before we started the webinar, so your connection should be reasonably good. And write down the number and whatever. It could be leucine or it could be oleic acid. Okay. And if you got C, which was a 3, pick a number between 1 and 21, write that down. And if you've got D, pick a number between 1 and 26, that's the vitamin you need. You only need one thing to infuse at a time. And be aware of how you're feeling now, and then we'll check how you were once we infuse this. Okay. And now you can switch your microphones on, because we're going to do this together. We're going to do this command code here together. And the very fact of setting the intention puts that energy of the specific nutrition that you chose into what we call the divine healing stack, where all the instructions are executed for what you require by the higher self. So repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. Higher self.
Higher self.
Please encode this nutrient.
Please encode this nutrient
In the perfect balance.
in the perfect balance
That is required.
that is required.
And clear and align
And clear on a line
all pathways.
all pathways
Maximum assimilation.
for maximum assimilation,
Absorption. And utilization.
and utilization.
Okay. Keep your eyes closed. Let that frequency infuse. It's very important to close your eyes so the mind switches off. Just feel how it goes into your body. And you feel it opening out. You feel yourself going slightly altered. You may go cold, you may go hot. It's just neutralizing some of the imbalances from all the stuff we just removed with the previous charts. Generally, you should be a little more grounded and calmer after that, a little more into it. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So who would like to share how that was? Riz in Alexandra.
Yeah, that was fabulous. I got silver, and I could literally visualize it running through into my veins in a strange kind of way.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really quite profound.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alexandra?
I got selenium, and I felt my hands begin to buzz, and I felt like a pulsing at my third eye.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, anyone else want to share how that was? Okay, Meredith?
I could feel it in my whole face, in my mouth especially, and kind of up in through my forehead.
Yeah.
It was a very tingly experience. It was zinc.
Yeah. Very important mineral. Okay. Anyone else want to share how it was? Okay, Fiona?
Just this rush of energy from my feet right up.
Yeah.
Just kept on flowing, just kept on giving. Amazing. Very tingly.
Okay, very good. Rebecca?
I could feel it in my hands, and I also felt like a really cold energy, like a breeze.
Yeah. Something getting cleaned out there. Okay. Anyone else? Put it on the chat if you want. Guys who are on the video. I think that's it. Okay. So that's an experience of divine healing, people. So when we do divine healing, we work through 26 different charts. I'll show you them. This is the level 1 manual of divine healing. Divine healing was channeled by Almira Ariel Halle, who used to run the Center for Conscious Ascension with me. And the purpose of it is to empower you. It's what we call the Master Key to Ascension. Is Shakira Shalvin and Mary Lee Marster, two colleagues, friends of ours, developed it. Okay. And they channel this over a period of about a year. This manual would meet once a month and assemble the whole thing. They each do some of these 26 different charts, and it comes from source to take us home in consciousness back to source. So it comes from many different groups of beings in many different dimensions, from angels to the Great White Brotherhood, or ETs, all sorts of beings contributed towards this. And so there are 26 different charts here, labeled A to Z, A to Z. And we used here the interference chart to start with, main low frequency programs, clearing past lives. I did a variation like just clearing past lives, not just necessarily past life deaths, and then nutrition to integrate. And all these different charts are used by your higher self. When you do divine healing, you get aligned to the higher self. We teach you how to align with the higher self in the training. And we teach you how each chart works by explaining the theory of it. Then it's a very simple chart. I demonstrate it on the whole group. So you get the benefit. The more complex one, we have a volunteer, and I demonstrate on the volunteer, and then everyone goes off into breakout rooms in Zoom and gets to give and receive the chart. But the beauty of the training is that you'll receive every treatment done by everybody. So it's a 4-day, 6 contact hours a day times 4, 24 hours of healing intensive. So you get a huge clean out. And we will work through each of these charts in the right order in terms of following the spiritual signature, what the right flow is, which is unique for every class. So eventually you get all of them done. And so you come out the end a lot cleaner than when you arrived energetically. Okay, and it's very empowering because you can clear a huge amount of programming. I remember when I had this, Mira and I have been spending years looking for a powerful healing tool because we had some severe disempowerment, both of us from childhood. And we've been searching for a really powerful tool, and she was trying to find this out in the world. She found some tools, but the teachers wouldn't teach her how to teach it. So in the end, she developed it herself with our 2 friends. And so you have divine healing. This is how this first level got born in 2006. And our lives have completely changed since we've been using this. Plus, there are 4 other levels as well. It radically peeled my ego. I feel I could get free of this big, dark ego and they've been holding me back my entire life. Just the amount of stuff that came out was incredible. So it really is a gift from source. So you can get free and you can get into the flow of the life you really want to create. And I'd say 14 years on, I'm beginning to get that now. So yeah, it's here to serve you so you can get home to source and get out of the suffering of the ego and get into the bliss and joy of following spirit. Okay. So what else? Any questions on what we've done so far? I'm just trying to give you a bit of structure for how it works. Put it in the chat or whatever. So effectively, the course is doing what we're doing here, plus you get some practice for 4 days straight. And we do it on Zoom in about 4 1.5 hour slots per day approximately. Okay, and we do it from 12:30 to 8:30 UK time, 4:30 to about midday Pacific, and then it will be 7:30 to 3:30 Eastern, and then in Europe it's 1:30 to 9:30. So we try and set the time zone to cover the Western Hemisphere, where the bulk of the students are. But usually it's a pretty global class, people from everywhere when we run it. And you get to meet some pretty interesting people. It's very multinational usually training when we run it. So you get to work with all sorts of different cultures. Yeah. Okay. So if you're interested in coming, which some of you have expressed an interest here, the next one runs 3 times a year. And the next one runs the 11th to the 14th of February. These are the times, I've just given them to you there. So these are UK time, Eastern, Pacific, European time. So the deposit is 175 UK pounds, about probably a bit more than that now, US dollars, more than 220. The full fee is 520 in total. That includes the deposit. If you'd like to find out more, go to the divinehealingtraining.com. If you're interested in sessions, go to freeupyourlife@divinehealing.com. But I'm not doing sessions much now because I've got a lot more teaching going, but I'd find you a compatible practitioner we would use the soul contract reading to find someone who's a good match for you if you want to have a series of sessions to have more direct experience of it. Okay, so it's my gift of service to you. Are there any questions on that? You've got me live now, so don't hold back. If there's anything else you want to know about it. Sorry?
So for the personal sessions, you showed yours, and then you mentioned you could match us up with another person since you're not doing them as much. How do you go about inquiring who else I could choose from?
We take your birth name and your current name, we'd analyze it with the soul contract work, and I'd find a practitioner who's a good match energetically to you.
Do I email you to start that process, or how
you just email me that information and the issue you want to work on, and I usually my healing team tells me who to work with, but I make sure you're compatible with them and they're compatible with you, so that it gives you maximum support. So their frequencies are going to help you. Doesn't mean you're not going to be challenged, but it means you'll get the fastest growth experience in terms of working with that practitioner. You see.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
How do I contact you to start that process?
You can email me at Nicolas direct at centerforconsciousascension.net, the email which you got with the joining instructions that would have been on there.
Okay, thank you.
You just email me, then I'd find someone for you. You tell me exactly where you are as well. So we try and get someone in the similar time zone if we can, because we have practitioners everywhere.
Okay.
And then
so birth name and where I am.
Birth name, current name, date of birth, and the issue you want to address in summary. So I'll find someone who can handle that issue, you see, because they have a wide range of backgrounds.
Okay. Super. Thank you.
So we handle that. So I don't have enough time to run sessions anymore because of the teaching.
Sure. Yes.
So, anyone else got any questions about the training? Rebecca, and then Meredith.
Okay. So after the course, is there like case studies you have to do, or is there like a certificate, and would I be able to do it on other people? How does it?
We after the course, you get a certificate of completion, and you need to practice on probably friends and family at first to get used to it. And usually the class, everyone in the class, they do exchanges on each other to get up to speed, so they feel confident with it. And then you get insurance and you're qualified to go out and work on other people. But normally we say you've got to do at least 5 sessions on people, full sessions, to make sure that you've actually got it going. Not people in the class, but real people who really have a need for the work. So you get to try it out, see what's there, see what it's like for you. And then, but we also run a support program, which is about every 4 sessions, an hour and a half, about every 4 or 5 weeks, as an optional extra as you get started. So you can ask all the questions about the practical nuts and bolts of doing it. People find that very helpful. That's an optional extra. We find that really helps people get out there and do the work. People launch the business practices much faster as a result.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Meredith, you had a question? Are you just waving at me? Okay. Anyone else got any other questions about what we did today or the course? No? Yeah, you do have you had a question. Go on.
All right. Well, I didn't have a question about the course as much as something about when we were doing healing.
Okay. Yep.
And during a difficult time, I put the pain in my neck. And is part of the reason I'm having trouble healing it is because I didn't put it there?
Oh, someone else put it there. Is that what you think?
Well, or is it that I'm blaming myself for it?
Yeah, if there's judgment, that'll hold it and make it stronger. There could be some judgment around it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can clear judgments and beliefs with divine healing as well. That's in level 1. So.
Okay. Thank you.
There's usually a way to get out most things. It just takes a bit of time to find out what your ego set up for you unconsciously. Okay, Laurie, another question.
Yes, for this session, you mentioned replaying it to get deeper levels. How do I access the version of this session?
I will process the video and probably send it out early next week once the
Okay.
video is rendered and I've set up all the emails. Just set it up on Vimeo.com. You get an email with the video, so you can play it again. And it'll only you guys. Let's see. It's on YouTube. Yeah, it'll be up on YouTube probably early next week. But I will specifically email you guys the video link.
And then once I get that, am I able to share that with some people?
It's a public video. Feel free to share it with anyone who could benefit from it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, another question there. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Thank you, people, for engaging. It's been fun having you. Everyone showing themselves and going for it there. So I hope that helped. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming. All right.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Drink lots of water after this because it's stronger than you think. Okay. It's done. Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Bye.